It is the definition of a no-brainer. I can't believe. Listen, I don't hold the Lakers front office in as high of regard as certain people do. I understand
Pretty much
folks
everybody.
wanted to
You
give
used to really be
Rob
down.
Pelinka the executive
they've
of
risen
the year.
in your eyes,
Well,
though,
you know what I mean? When you've had a fire in your kitchen for a year and a half and you eventually begrudgingly decide to pull out the fire extinguisher, I guess you deserve some credit for not letting the whole house burn down, but I don't think it exactly makes you homeowner of the year. But set that aside. Anthony Davis is not a perfect player, but he's 30 years old, coming off some of his most dominant basketball of his career in a league. And I just want people to understand this. If they do not extend him this year, he is a free agent and can go anywhere. He has a player option for the following year. If he says, I don't want to pick it up, if he opts out, he goes anywhere he wants, and you get nothing for him. Like, what's that free agent class look like? Right now, the two best people that would be available other than AD are Jaylen Brown, who'd probably be locked up, Pascal Siakam. You're not replacing Anthony Davis if you lose him for nothing. I don't understand any possible argument as to not giving Anthony Davis an extension. I'd understand if this were LeBron. It's like, Lakers don't know if they want to extend LeBron. Like, yeah. He's going into year 21. He's 38 years old. Why would you not immediately call up his agent, Rich Paul, and say, the max? We are offering you the max. We want to keep you. It makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Look, I tend to agree with you that they'll extend him, and they should, but I don't think it's as cut and dried as you do. I mean, again, I would do it, but you ask for arguments. What if they want to sit back and see if he plays 60 games, 50 games, 40 games this year? I mean, he obviously is injury prone. So what if he plays 37 games next season?
Yeah,
I think they may be watching for that. And you seem to think the idea of him leaving as a free agent is not that simple. Most of the great teams aren't going to have a ton of money. And I mentioned Dallas. If they were to let Kyrie Irving walk and not bring on more salary next season, they would have about $50 million under the cap. And we've talked about this before. Luka and AD, that would be something. So there are a few teams out there, but that's we'll
San Antonio
see.
Could have
but
something.
if they
Wemby
do sign,
and AD could be
yeah,
interesting.
but I don't. Well, but does he want to go play with Wemby and be second to a 20-year-old? I don't know. But so my point is, even if he becomes a free agent, it doesn't mean they can't re-sign him, because they'll be able to offer him more money than any other team. It is the Lakers. It is Los Angeles, where I assume he likes living. Like, they still, even if they didn't extend him, would be in the advantageous spot to bring him back. But I agree with you in that I would go ahead and extend him. Mm-hmm. And even if he gets hurt, you still can trade him. He still becomes an asset that you can move. You have no fear of losing him, but if you decide you want to go in a different direction, you can trade him. And look, he's not a number one. I've said it. Physically or mentally now, I believe he's not a number one. But if LeBron were to retire and I've got Anthony Davis, then I just need to add that dog. And so, and the players around him are right. It's LA, so a lot of guys will want to go there. So I'm with you, but I don't think it's asinine if they let it go, because they still going to likely get him back anyway.
But you can't let something that could be 100% certainty. You can't be like, well, let me just let it be a 75% certainty because it'll probably turn out in my favor. And again, sometimes we compare guys, or we think in our mind's eye, well, he's not Giannis, he's not Jokic. Would you, if Joel Embiid had a year left on his deal, would you instantly do everything you could to extend him? Yes. Donovan Mitchell, who is not nearly the player Anthony Davis is. Yes. We're talking about giving Jaylen Brown more money than Anthony Davis is eligible for. Anthony Davis is exponentially more impactful than Jaylen Brown. I understand the injury concern is a unfortunate reality of his situation. What I'm saying is, in today's NBA, if Anthony Davis tomorrow, it was said, oh my goodness, he's going to miss all of next season. He had foot surgery. I'd still give him the max.
Why?
Because someone else will. Someone else will.
Yeah, but I can still overpay. I can pay him more than any other team. He's with a historic franchise. He's in Los Angeles. Who knows how he'll come back from that?
But if your plan is to sign him anyway, why damage the relationship? Why do things to alienate the player when, especially this part of it? Can we show the Lakers since AD came back from injury? They were awesome. And by the way, LeBron missed a lot of that time. Right. Can we show Anthony Davis this postseason, which is what we just saw most recently? He was fantastic. The most blocks by any player in a decade, and he only played 3 rounds of the postseason, and one of them they got swept in. It's not like they had 20 postseason games. I don't understand why they wouldn't want to re-sign him. Wild.
I think they just re-sign him.
I don't.
I wish I could add more fireworks to the conversation, but I just think it's an obvious.
I agree.
reason.
I just don't think it's as like.
But then
if they don't, oh my gosh, the sky.
I guess the question I would ask then is, how many guys in the league would, if Anthony Davis, you would say, let's just wait and see, we'll probably go bring him back? Are we saying there's only 4, 5, 6 guys in the league that we would blindly re-sign a year early? Steph, Giannis, Jokic, and I don't know, Jason Tatum. But Tatum's got question marks like AD does. Like, I don't get it. If he's not an immediate extension candidate, then
I think it's all based on his injury history.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.